but so far, so the same. Again, both teams feeling very confident with the way they've approached these games.
Yeah, we'll see, too, if the pressure starts to get to Echo Fox a little bit more. They had a game to give last time around. Now you have all of these young players up against it, one game from elimination. A lot of pressure there, but likewise, for the veterans, such high expectations are there for TSM.
And right now, pick ban, a little bit of a switch up. Rakan, banned by TSM every single game, left up this game, and this is kind of that test of what are they going to first pick here, because the Braum was taken away. The Rakan is the one that's left up here.
You can also see Aurelia off the table there, so like Medios was saying on the desk, you can leave up the Sejuani if you take away the Aurelia because that pairing is so strong.
Ooh.
It is going to be the first pick Kindred, which leaves up the opportunity for TSM to just go Xayah or Khan straight up right here if they wanted.
And this was the what the desk was talking about, saying that, you know, it was such a good performance from Dardoch on the Kindred. They've won their games with the Kindred, put him back on it, and they wouldn't even be surprised if they first picked it here. This is a champion that was banned as one of like the permabans, Aatrox. You had Kindred, Nocturne on red side, and nothing's changed about the champion. So picking it up here for Dardoch, like we said, he's gonna have to have a carry performance, which, you know, he's had plenty of the split.
Covering the Lee Sin for quite a bit of time, which can be a good matchup into the Kindred, but TSM comfortable with Grig on tanks. It's right back to the Sejuani, and they won't have that mid lane pairing, but I am interested to see if they tackle any of the other ones that had been talked about on the desk, like something like along the lines of a Yasuo.
It's interesting, the Ezreal was banned away 2 games by Echo Fox, but was left up in the other ones where the Kai'Sa was taken. And so I guess now they're saying, all right, we'll let him have the Ezreal, but he picks it up immediately.
It's just all comfort here so far in the first 3 picks of the draft. Grig, one of the most confident champions. Sven, he's a well-known Ezreal, but yeah, I think Fox is saying, you know what, you leave us power, we'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, it really does feel like when you're looking in isolation just at these picks, it feels like Echo Fox got so much more. Kindred considered really S tier in the jungle meta, and this bottom lane of Xayah Khan is considered incredibly strong.
Let's go,
oh
Mithy.
my god. They're going for
Leona.
Leona Ezreal. That is interesting because Leona definitely can be considered very good into the Rakan. You can really all in and blow that guy up, but Ezreal is not usually the pairing for that.
I heard this from Smoothie himself, where it was Leona was the counter pick to Xayah because you can EQR her and Sunlock her before she ever gets her R off. So it's all about potentially killing him or even just countering on the Rakan. But the big deal is this is something that is a known counter. It has not really emerged at all this split. This is the first game on Leona for Mithy in the summer split. And basically you have to pull out all the stops right now. But Echo Fox this is much easier to execute composition.
Yeah, it's just very interesting to me because, so I see it if Ezreal hits 6, then you throw in your ultimate over top and everything like that. But in the early game, I don't think that Leona Ezreal can go aggressive on Xayah Rakan. I don't think that Ezreal really has the follow-up unless he's hitting a lot of mystic shots, unless he's hitting a lot of poke. So it almost feels like you pick Ezreal to play passively and farm it out, but the Leona wants to go in or really doesn't do anything in lane. So are these two directions kind of counteracting each other? We'll find out if they can really make it work.
Yeah, and then we see the ban there of a Cho'Gath again, trying to make sure that when he doesn't have something, he can just kind of sit back on and have a decent game up against this composition from TSM. And the Rumble on top of it. I wonder if the GP is going to come through.
Ooh, could just be a Gnar then for Haunter if they want to blind that, save Bjergsen's pick for last. I feel like you have to save Bjergsen's pick for last in Game 5 when he's playing this well, but they might just bold as you like, lock in the LeBlanc. Bjergsen has been confident to really face whatever Damonte's showing.
This gives over Syndra potentially, which is a comfort pick.
All right.
A decent matchup, but Bjergsen throwing the gauntlet down again. It is LeBlanc time for him.
And this is probably Syndra time for Damonte. His best champion, his most played this split, 4-1 record on that. And I would assume that is the pick you play into the LeBlanc here.
It's just really one of those things where TSM, yes, can they make it work? Totally. They can make this draft work. But I'm looking at these picks and I'm just feeling like you're giving so much power over. A little surprised about the Galio. This is less about the lane and more about, hey, you just survive against Bjergsen. You have the follow-up onto the Rakan engage. You have the ultimate coming out of the Kindred. Also, this is about the team fighting, less about the 1v1. But this does give an opportunity for Bjergsen to take over in lane, to really get going. It was against, I want to say, a Galio against TL that he really slammed on a Kali, so you can really kind of bully those matchups sometimes.
Yeah, the Galio, not that much pressure in lane.
Blind
and even
Kenny.
They're blocking the Gnar, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like it's his only pick.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, Jace actually wins that matchup.
He does.
Yeah, and Jace is often easier to team fight with if you're going AD versus AD, but this could be AP Kennen.
And the other thing, too, is TSM, elimination games, NA Jace.
Oh, no, they lost.
It's not locked in yet.
They haven't looked
It's not
in.
locked in.
They have 2 seconds. Oh, no.
Everyone who's been a TSM fan for a while has watched every Worlds tiebreaker. Time for the Jays, time to lose. We'll see if the same remains true here in Game 5 for TSM. It is a good matchup, though, into the Kennen. I think as Huni in this game, you go AP and you wait for Dardoch and you try to look for all-ins.
It's team fight.
Yeah, the team fight here is so powerful. You have Kennen, you have Galio, the Rakan engage. The Wombo here is ridiculous from Echo Fox. I feel like TSM have to establish lane advantages with the LeBlanc, with the Jace, because it's so much harder if you go into an even 5v5.
Yeah, you have a better jungler on the side of Echo Fox. You have a better bottom lane combo for the early part of the game. I'm actually watching Dardoch and Smoothie this game for Echo Fox because I want to see those engages land for him if Echo Fox are to win. But Dardoch is the one who has to dictate how those losing lanes go.
Exactly, and I think that's such a good point you bring up because while the solo lanes are advantageous for TSM, if the jungler has the advantage, if the jungler has priority and you can't push that matchup, then it's hard to really establish those edges. It's hard to get enough out of that Jason LeBlanc. So it's going to be a crazy one. TSM putting that faith in their solo laners in this pivotal Game 5, both on carry champions.
And a bit of comfort here. Grig on the Sejuani, they were saying on the desk, looked like his best champion in this series so far. LeBlanc for Bjergsen, an assassin that he can pop off on. NA Jace in the top lane is the worry for the TSM fans.
It's comfort picks, it's winning lanes versus the curse of NA Jace. Dardoch said his team was the
curse.
one loaded with all of the curses.
That's how you break the curse. That's how you break it. Break out another curse.
It's like a 4D draft. He's like, we'll bait him into the Jace pick.
Fans are excited for game number 5.
I don't think I've heard TSM chance this split of that volume at all.
Yeah.
It has just been a very rough split for this team. Up and down, mostly down, but then coming up at the end here. And now in Game 5, it has been a back and forth one.
The fans still obviously there to show up and support the team here in the playoffs, and such high expectations for these guys. It is going to be Huni playing AP Kennen, almost guaranteed here with that electrocute. He's looking for these quick trades against Jace, and you can be pretty effective in those quick trades if you can hit your Q auto W. That should be able to proc that.
Yeah. Also, if you have your stacked up W, the empowered auto attack W is electrocute right there. So you can. One of the things that is bad about the new electrocute is it takes more mana to get the same damage because you have to cast 3 spells in 2 sets as opposed to 1 time.
That's a really nice shot clock there from Haunsa. Huni and Dardoch, we're trying something here at level 1, but just get the ward down, and it looks like Huni will try and harass.
It's the protect the scuttle meta.
Yeah, it looks like Dardoch's going to run straight down to bottom, so he's going to be starting red. TSM won't really have this information unless they're just intuiting from the fact that the bottom lane shows up late.
But because they're mismatched, this means that Dardoch gets to go from the bottom to the top side of the map and have that rotation and the protected scuttle there because of the vision that they just put at level 1. But it also means that he's in position to gank Jace level 3, whereas it doesn't look like Grig is going to be in that position himself.
He's actually going back to the Krugs, though. This is pretty interesting. So may just do a full side clear and try to even go for the bottom side scuttle. Maybe try to actually double scuttle. I've seen this a few times where people do 2 camps, go to their own scuttle, then try to race straight over and get both. If he feels he has that jungle advantage.
Best way to get the mark, of course, which you do want to look for there on Kindred. Looks like it is spawning right side, though. So Dardoch can head over there if he wants.
Yeah, I think he definitely will. They put down a ward at the Raptor camp because Demonte was able to shove in, and they haven't spotted Grig yet. He's gonna, if he wants to get level 3, he has to rotate over to it, and they'll see him there. But they know that it's warded, so he's actually going to avoid his Raptor camp, I believe. No, he's actually going to pick it up, give himself over, and this will give Dardoch a lot to work with in terms of information.
Yeah, Dardoch doing Raptors first, so he has actually used his smite. He's fairly low. He will be able to be spotted on this ward. We'll see if TSM want to try to collapse for this. Their bot lane has the push. And I don't know if they're going to come up or not. I think they are just going to probably seed it, but Grig is moving over to this side of the map.
Yeah, he's going to have smite in a second.
Leona's coming up. They are going to try to look for something, but probably too late, yeah.
Looks like Demonte covering there, so Dardoch kites the crab in towards the strong side of the map. Really calculated play there, and he does manage to grab that first bounty.
It gives you like 3/4 of your mana back too. That's why you want to do the Scuttle Crab a lot of the times when you have the Hunter's Machete.
And this does mean that you're giving up potentially double Scuttle, which is, you know, somewhat of a pretty big disadvantage.
Yeah, it's the jungle matchup, right? He can't really match him as the Sejuani, but also splits the map because now he can't play to the Jace.
The interesting thing is, though, you know, you can't match, but they saw Dardoch on a ward on bottom side, so he could have traded, right? He could have taken the top Scuttle away. Instead, he just seeds that, decides to clear all his own camps. Dardoch, I think, is even assuming that the Scuttle is gone.
Well, good play there as Huni actually getting some traction early on in the 1v1. Haunter getting pushed in towards that turret. Despite, again, the counter pick here for Haunter. Kind of already happened to him. He counter picked that Nah in an earlier game versus the Rumble, and Huni kind of ran him over and then won the his team fights. Champion-wise, we're actually in a very similar situation here.
Yeah. Now that the second mark spawns, Dardoch could get double marks, double scuttles. This is legit the dream start.
Yeah, absolutely.
For Kindred. Like, it basically can't get better unless people are donating you kills left and right. To get double scuttle, 2 marks at 4 minutes is just absurd. If he can now get a gank and pick up another mark, if you can hit 4 marks so fast, and it just becomes impossible for Sejuani to match you at all. So Grig really just seeding a lot, playing so risk averse, and sometimes that can be intelligent, sometimes that can work, but if you give up too much, it's really questionable.
And something that people don't consider about the Kindred is every stack really increases the speed of your jungle clear. It increases the attack speed that you get when you use Q. It increases the amount of percent HP that your Wolf does when he's attacking camps. And against monsters, it's a ton of damage. And then the E is percent missing HP. So a lot of people just think about the range, but during the early part, if you get 2, that's so much extra.
Huni used all his spells on the minions.
Yeah, he's got his flash, but I think Haunter's going to force him to use a Haunter flash forward. Wants to get the kill. There's the kill, and Haunter, he does that 1v1 solo kill.
Huni just lost his mind right in front of Haunter. Uses his electric rush, uses everything just on the 3 minions right in front of Haunter, and Haunter's like, well, okay, I guess I'll kill you. That was really, really poorly done there from Huni, and a great capitalize from Haunter.
And Haunter's doing a great job in that too. That's one of those situations where Time Warp Tonic gets him some extra autos in there, and now
Grig is
here's
here.
Grig.
This is the tragedy of top lane. The TP into instant regank and death. Huni, he's had an up and down series. He's not feeling so well. But Grig does back away.
Yeah, and now that early X-Shrinker, Dardoch. Oh, he misses Smite! Oh! Wolf, I think, actually got that. Not even the auto attack. The Wolf auto there got it as Mithy was about to take it.
That's a hard attack.
Was dicey.
But Mithy comes over, just spots it. Woo, barely. There have been some off kind of smites / feasts here.
But look at this. Huni, he just spends all his abilities on the minions right in the face of Haunter, and Haunter's like, well, sure, I'll all in you. And this is just really smart stuff from Haunter, but pretty disrespectful play from Huni. And you got to give the credit, though. Haunter did everything right in the chase down.
That was perfect mechanical execution. And the Time Warp Tonic on top of it, yeah, like you said, Wolf just gets the last hit.
But still the pressure is here.
Dive.
Bjergsen levels 5, no flash, no hope perhaps here for Huni.
That's it.
Throws away, but there's the ult. Not bad there, but there's Galio actually. They're going to try and save him. Haunter maybe going to get it turned back around. Damonte flash torn. See you later.
What an entrance there from Damonte. Comes in, the damage reduction just barely keeping Huni alive. They take down Haunter. That is a huge swing.
And it gave him the damage reduction, and then it gave enough time for Huni to get a stun onto Haunter. But hold on.
Careful.
Grig's the bounty. Dardoch wants it so bad.
One more
Grig
hit.
needs to be careful. He's never going to get it.
He got six.
Learns respite, but he's got no reinforcement. Dardoch has to fight his way out of there as Damonte does actually come back down. And Dardoch, he does it.
You are kidding me. That is one of the best jungle plays we have seen all year long. 1v2, gets the bounty, makes the outplay, hits level 6. That is some of the best Kindred play you will ever see.
And you talked about it, Azale, at the start. Individual play is what this game has come down to, this series has come down to. Right here, he's chunking out Haunter, making it so when he goes for the dive, he's not full HP. Hits 6, has Damonte coming in, even though Bjergsen had priority. Damonte knows to play for the team. And right here, the ulti comes out before he can get locked up. Ultimate, Haunter rushes forward, gets stunned, knocked up, and he can't get away in time.
That is just incredible from Echo Fox. And then this jungle play, if we get a replay of it, this is just insane. Dardoch, so confident going forward for Grig. And look at this flash forward over the top, finishes off Grig, hits level 6 with the experience, instant Lambda Spike drop, Galio comes down, and he just walks out.
That's the difference in having 2
Rick
stacks.
Fox is pumped up.
I would be too, as Dardoch. Talk about Fox's struggles a lot of the season. Hooney, of all people, has had a surprisingly mediocre season for a player with so much experience, but Dardoch has felt like the heart of this team all year long.
All year long, like you said. It's been, even in spring, he was popping off. I remember Dardoch walked through the hallways one time, he's like, I can't remember the last time I had an actually bad game, because it has been a while since he's had one of
That's
those.
Dardoch for you.
And then his good games stick in your mind forever.
I can think of a couple of bad games. Maybe Dardoch can't, but the Lee Sin into Poppy from Anda, he got slapped.
Oh, that's a hard game for
Yeah,
sure.
it is.
That's where the...
And he's an incredible player, but that's kind of the beauty of Dardoch. He has this unassailable confidence, right? And I think that it can be one of his greatest assets, because how many players even try for that play? Most players, if they see that, they try to flash away immediately. They try to run. He's like, no, I'll just outplay you 1v2 and then level up and play it all perfectly.
And Dardoch's the guy who keeps trying to make those plays so that when they do happen, he's had enough experience in them. I remember back to the Rengar top, right? Where he's like, wouldn't it have been cool if he had gotten that pentakill and popped off? Like, you do it so much, you'll fail a lot, that's fine, but then you realize what your limits are, and that's where he's at. Understanding the Kindred damage there. Bjergsen is here, so is Mithy.
We're back here again. There's the stun, gonna start training there, but Mithy with a great roam. He's gonna shut it down. Hooney, dead to rights.
And that's a great roam for Mithy, like you said, Pastry. He's on the side of the map where you go, he has no business being there. They just got pushed in bottom. What is he doing? But it's a good play because he has no business being there, so they don't expect it.
Exactly. Grabs the Moby boots, just runs straight top, picks up a kill, and as soon as Dardoch realized 3 men there, he did back off of that one. Not going to be able to make an outplay there, but this does give some time here to the Echo Fox bottom lane, who had been getting bullied. Here it is one more time. You know, Haunter is up there, Mithy coming in, Bjergsen, 3 members from all sides, and as soon as you see Mithy, Dardoch's like, nope, you're gonna have to back off.
Yep. Tries to do a little bit to Bjergsen there, but it's not enough. It's not gonna do anything to him. And I actually think the back got stopped. So I think a minion actually ran it lost right before that replay and smacked him and broke up the lovers duo in the recall.
Yeah, which means he's gonna actually lose some minions here. Fairly impactful, actually. He's gonna lose at least the cannon. Dardoch, though, still doing incredibly well. Very far ahead in farm. Does have a number of early stacks and will quickly be hitting that 4 stacks.
Yeah, he's at 2 currently. He had actually swapped from Sejuani to Jace
Oh, no.
right before that dive top lane.
All right, well, again, Echo Fox still trying to defend from some of the pressure points here. Bjerg and Haunter both doing a good job keeping that up. Bot's been relatively even, but as that almost always means, looks like Sven and Mithy are ahead as a result. And Fox, I know they have to just get through a lot of these tough, aggressive lanes and try and get to a point where they can open up the map and try and take team fights.
It's going to be really interesting to see how they utilize this Leona and just this composition in general. You know, it almost looks like you're going to have Haunter and Bjergsen inside lanes, Mithy roaming around, trying to create picks with those strong solo laners. Because this is not a composition that you traditionally think wants to 5v5, and especially not against the insane engage that is on Echo Fox.
Yeah, the Rakan, the Galio, the follow-up into the Huni ultimate with the AP. This is going to be a very explosive team fight from Fox, so if TSM are actually ever grouped up, that's going to be a really bad time for them, because Echo Fox will be able to just have that engage go. So I think it's kind of in TSM's best interest that they don't play together here. They all just kind of go their separate ways. Individual play. Play like individuals at this point.
And to think for Echo Fox what this means for them here in the summer. They had a decent showing in spring, finishing 3rd, up against someone that has just always won except for the last time. They want to shut TSM out again and push themselves towards what Cooney has wanted, a win here in North America.
Yeah, and Echo Fox, last split, they ran into TL in the semifinals, and they were the only team to take a game off of TL throughout all of playoffs. So there was a debate that Echo Fox were potentially the 2nd best team in spring over 100 Thieves, because we even heard about scrims and stuff like that, where Echo Fox were doing incredibly well, moving into the 3rd, 4th place match.
Oh, nice knock up into the taunt. Dardoch here.
Wow.
Bjergsen maybe about to get punished. Does not need to flash away though. Double distorts to safety.
Still good stuff there from Damonte, anticipating the distort back, and is able to actually kind of cover both sides and get some pressure down. This may mean they get Dragon, as Bjergsen is low, but wants to stay around for any potential fight.
Great coverage here though from TSM. They have the wards in the right places. Fox are going to move in and try and clear them out of the way. They'll start the Drake though very early.
Grig is up on the top side, moving down. You can see Sven is trying to soften them up with these Mystic shots, constantly spamming them in, but doesn't look like TSM wants to commit for it.
Yeah, TSM aren't going to commit for it. The Smite was walking the other way. If they steal this somehow, it would be huge for them because 2 Ocean Drakes for Echo Fox, free 15 minutes.
Especially when you're thinking against Ezreal, against Jace, against this LeBlanc champions who traditionally in the later stages are trying to poke you out, get combos down to make you get forced back to base, right? LeBlanc doesn't always have safe wave there, so some of the ways she does that is by chunking out your marksman.
Yeah.
Double Ocean really messes that up.
Yeah, it's not 100 to 0, it's get them to 80% and then you can 80 to 0 them. This will keep people topped off on Echo Fox's side. It'll make it harder for TSM to actually execute the way that they want to.
Back to the top lane here. Cooney continuing to absorb pressure. The TSM, despite the early misstep, what they have thrown here is mostly absorbed here. Is again, make sure you're spamming out the chat with Fox or TSM because they'll need all the energy you can give them given we're in Game 5.
Remember, that vote was just as close as this series. 51% to 49% favor of TSM. We're in the final game here. That's kind of what the gold is saying. It's 51% for TSM. But hold on. Oh, wait!
Dodges the ulti, now flashes out of the way, gets a 3-man stun. Demonte gonna make sure he stays alive.
That was just a flub there from Grig. He didn't even hit Uni with the ult.
He's looking.
Again, still fighting Dardoch now with his ult, but he has to kite away back towards the Galio. TSM, though, with 4v2 are going to take the blue buff.
Yeah, happy to just secure that blue buff. He decides to not go forward. He didn't have his ultimate, so it would have had to be a flash Zenith Blade, as more people actually believe in Echo Fox, despite how close this series has been. They have had some very strong performances, and a lot of those games have felt like it is in their hands.
Yeah, and that's always, I think, easier to retro games and learn from them when you are the ones who make the mistake and it gets punished because you were in control of the game, right? Sure, Grig steals a Baron, but he was in a position where he had to steal the Baron, right? It's that type of game where I completely understand the favor kind of leaning towards Echo Fox here because they have had control of the series.
And it's still so close. 15 minutes in, the gold is just about even, despite the 2 drakes that Fox have picked up. We're going to watch this one again.
This Sejuani ultimate. Oops. Ooh. It's a overthought there where you're just thinking he's going to start moving back as soon as he sees that.
Yeah, I think he's just expecting a flash or him to just immediately run back like you're saying, and trying to anticipate that. But it's the no juke juke. It can make you look pretty silly at times.
It's so bronze, it's challenger. Those are the ones.
It's full circle.
Like he didn't react.
Bronze and challenger really not that far apart, you know. It's you get too high up, you become bronze again. You start over.
What if you go too low as bronze?
Yep, same thing.
You go negative elo, you actually end up at the top.
It's like underflow, overflow there. As a bounty did get picked up by Dardoch, so at 3 marks, Sven as well to try and maybe get the 3rd, but TSM read the dive. They just made sure to play safe. As again, we've got a much slower game now.
Looking again up to top side, Huni doesn't have his flash. There's no Demonte coming in to save him.
Ult again there from Huni, but Bjergsen now able to roam up here. Here's actually Dardoch getting there at a pretty good clip. Ulti is going to miss. He's going to go back into the lane despite. Now Demonte maybe looking for his Bjergsen. He's trying to find the outplay. He's too far forward. Chain dodged by Huni. Bjergsen, he may go down, but he just storms back over. Now Hansa getting dove in, but Bjergsen might still fancy something. Dardoch dead. He had no ulti. Here's Bjergsen again.
Bjergsen.
To Demonte. And that's it. TSM, they turn it around.
His clone movement completely destroyed Dardoch in that fight. He actually moved the clone first. Dardoch flashed after the clone, trying to kill it. He completely was misreading that situation.
Dardoch lost his mind. He went after the clone, even after Bjergsen used a spell from the main guy. He was still focusing the clone.
That was huge for TSM. That looked like it was going to be an Echo Fox fight.
Yeah, but that's the pressure that they were talking about on the desk. Game 5, TSM, the veteran lineup here, coming through when it's clutch. And Echo Fox, there's a little bit of a choke factor here. Unfamiliarity with the situation.
And the price to pay was heavy as TSM get the kills, get the tower, and the Rift Herald.
I mean, this looked like it was going to be Echo Fox's fight to win. Dardoch is coming in. He's so strong, already a level 11.
The Sedge ulti?
Yeah, the Sedge ulti misses. And then look at this clone play here from Bjergsen. As the Mimic gets off, he actually moves his clone in there. They're chasing this slower minion, which is the clone. He actually flashes down after it.
Bjergsen used W there to hit Huni, and he's still going after it. What is going on?
It was just complete tunnel vision there from Dardoch. He thought it was Bjergsen, he thought the clone was him, and he just full in chases. And they know they messed up so big there. That is not just 3 kills for 0 in what could have been one fight. That was also the turret, first turret gold. That is thousands going over to the way of TSM.
And it's potentially the series. If you give them enough of a lead here, that's Bjergsen picking up assists, also getting out and not giving anything over. So I completely understand that from Damonte, that frustration there, because he has been playing up against the most decorated player in North America, and he has been holding toe-to-toe and helping his team out, but then those tiny things just slip by.
And again, Horns are looking to break this curse. Looking good on the Jace. Again, despite some missteps, TSM have been solid with their lane. And as a reminder, we have 2 teams determined for Oakland already. This game will determine 1 more. So if you'd like to join us in the Oracle Arena, please come over to Oakland for the 2018 Summer Finals. If it's anything like this series, it's going to be a blast.
And it's going to get even more crazy right now. Here comes the Rift Herald. 15 seconds on Infernal Drake.
Yeah, they're using it to just prep for that. You might actually get the turret. It's going to be very, very close. They do knock it down, but they're running straight over to this Infernal. Huni does have Flash now. He does have rank 2 ultimate, so there is playmaking potential. They have incredible engage here from Echo Fox, but they do need to nail that engage if they decide to fight here, because if you lose this fight, it may be the game going to TSM.
And Smoothie and Lost haven't gotten much in these fights. We haven't seen an ultimate flash with a W from Smoothie here yet. That's what I've been waiting for this game, is where are the engages and how are they going to land here? Because if he can catch Bjergsen and get that combo on to LeBlanc, it's very potent.
Little vision here for Fox, so they have to play pretty much alone in the darkness. Grigdo is going to start up the Drake.
Watch
TSM
Smoothie.
want this.
Smoothie on the left.
He's Bjergsen, but can't get a little bit more. Damonte again pops the W, walks forward towards the Drake. There's a stun by Mithy. Featherstorm out as well. Lost. He just burnt the ulti. That's Fox. They have to call off the play.
Yeah, he gets too low there. Uses the ult on the Leona engage, and then Sven timing that ultimate so well out of it, chunking him down. Echo Fox make the call not to fight, because if you fight there and you lose that fight hard, they could potentially go to that Baron. They could potentially get a game-ending play off it, so they decide to call it safe.
And that was great there from TSM, because Jace on the side was able to get a shock blast on the Lost, and then Lost actually took 400 damage from the True Shot Barrage, even though it passed through somebody right before, passed through Damonte.
And Infernal Drake over to TSM feels like the kind of insurance you need in this clutch moment. Such a tense game between the two sides. And Echo Fox, it felt like in so many of these games, they were the ones ahead and dictating. And finally now in the series, TSM have tipped those scales.
And TSM, with that lead, the 3,000 gold lead, or 2.5K that they have, as well as that Infernal Drake. There it is, but there's a QSS.
Combo landing in, Sven again, still gonna get dove, but Lost does pull the feathers back. Now the play extends as Mithy gonna be forced to flash.
Really nicely done. They finally find that engage. Dardoch's chasing forward,
He's
but
so far ahead of levels.
Bjergsen is here.
Yep, he's the one in the XP lead. Dardoch gonna get latched on there by the chain. Fox, they want to try and finish this. Mithy with a great stun, but no follow-up there for the rest of TSM. That will be Fox getting the turret.
Yeah, really big pick. They get that gold a lot closer, because remember, TSM, they got the lead off that top play, but they need to have the lead. They need to be dictating the pace of the game, splitting in these side lanes, because in an even 5v5, Echo Fox should win.
Yeah, with all of that wombo combo that they have, but also, we were talking about it, Smoothie with the engages, that one there that caught Sven is exactly what they needed to get that turret, get themselves back into the game, because Sven had QSS, but it's a 2-part CC. It is a charm into a knockup. He QSS's too early. He QSS's the charm, gets knocked up, has to wait for it. Charm, QSS came out, now he's airborne, so then he hits the ground. Then there's the flash E. He needs to QSS the second part of it and flash immediately out of it.
Yeah, and Lost with the flash follow there, they get the pick, and that is, I mean, a small window to make that play. As soon as they saw Mithy moving off to the right side with that ward, immediately Smoothie goes, and you have to be able to pull the trigger like that to actually make it happen, so credit to them. Dardoch looking to pressure on the bottom side, but they're wrapping around.
2v3, ulti from Drake nails it! But the Lantern Spire will keep Huni alive for a little while longer. Dardoch's out of there, but the follow-up stun is great. Sven swoops him for a freebie. And now Huni on the danger, getting sniped. The Q missing from Haunsa.
So critical Huni survives there, because TSM could have gone to Baron potentially. They may still decide to do it with Dardoch down for 30. They're not going to try to make the move. They're too far away on the play.
Yeah, and their team composition, it just favors Haunser in a side lane, kind of redeeming NA Chase. against NA players, saying it's time to split push, do not group. He's 2-1 and 3, 100% KP, the only person on the team with that. This Jace is ready to just split push and get these turrets.
And it's a good proactive play from TSM on the bottom side of the map. They know Dardoch wants to play around Huni. 3 members coming down. You can see all 5 of TSM, though, are heading this way. And Dardoch and Huni split up. This is really a smart play to make. One flashes one way, one flashes the other, and then Haunter just barely off to the side. Didn't have vision, so had to make the guess on the shot blast, and doesn't quite get it.
But heads up play there from Dardoch. Incredibly well played, saving Huni. Potentially, it looked like he was going to save maybe himself as well, but then Sven is the one who actually stops that from happening.
Gotta say, though, quietly but surely, Lost has been farming up. He's on 2 items on this crit marksman. You know, if he gets to that IE, he can be an absolute menace in the team fight.
Yeah, him and Smoothie, they haven't been getting much of this game. It's all been the top half of that.
There
There
go.
it is.
Smoothie again fights Mithy. There's the ult from Galio with the stopwatch. Actually going to buy more time. Mithy going to eat a taunt. That's a kill. And now Demonte moving in towards Zen. Bam, but they can't quite nail him down.
Yeah, if you don't see Smoothie, who's been very silent in this game, those engages will catch you off guard. You haven't been prepped for them at all in terms of this mid game, and that's why we're watching him. He's the one who really has to bring it home for Echo Fox.
That's why it can be so hard. Oh, as Bjergsen's going in.
Again, getting aggressive. Latches Dardoch, but he won't be too far forward. Bjergsen's supposed to get away. The clone is there. No knockoff.
But it can be so hard as not just the guys who are in the side lanes, but as that 3-man squad. You know, Sven and Mithy and Brig are often going to be left alone to their own devices, trying to hold waves while Jace splits, while Bjergsen looks for picks. And you have this hard engage that you always have to be watching out for, that you always have to expect.
Yeah, the counter to the 1-3-1, having that incredibly hard engage. But both teams are actually playing in the ideal fashion that they would want, right? TSM, 2 winning lanes that we talked about after Champions Select.
Mark 4. Dardoch gets him and has to get out of there safely.
Yeah, but like we were saying, this is the winning lanes for them. Is this an engage? Mithy throws it down.
Maybe not so much safety, only a dual slow. Dardoch again gonna get jumped up into Demonte. Around the wraparound, finds the flank. The youngster on the Echo Fox side is gonna make the play.
The bottom lane goes down for TSM. 5 members up and near the Baron pit here for Echo Fox. I think they're gonna start it. They do, but Brig has flash. Brig has fight. Huni is flanking.
Huni is coming in with the ultimate available. They don't see it. He's just waiting in the side. There he
Again for
is!
Echo Fox. Huni, he finds it in the fog of war. Greg is not gonna fall. But
Red
Huni's
buff!
gonna zone him off. Huni, can he get it? The red buff ticks in. Huni still stays alive, and Bjergsen finally able to get the kill.
I don't think they can get the Baron. They got poked too heavily. TSM barely keep Greg alive. And Echo Fox back off in the 5v3. TSM holds.
Huni trying to be the hero there, trying to blow up Grig. It was so close. The red buff almost gave the finishing touches, but the red buff is the reason he survives because he smites it. And Fox have to back up.
It's the right play, I think. Fox, don't overextend, but TSM, they get another advantage taking this trade.
You've got to wonder, though, is the better play, instead of trying to solo out this tank jungler, as a flat spell pen, Kennen, who is behind, is a better play not to wait till TSM overcommits and then go with Smoothie, with Demonte, the whole team turning and killing them, then going back to the Baron, right? Instead, it's Pony trying to do his solo adventure.
Yep.
He does go for it. Grig is low, and this could have been a play that worked out, but, I mean, you have the ability to turn and engage. You can see the ultimate was available for Smoothie. Why not wait until TSM comes forward and then 5-man turn and get that kill?
Yeah, and like you said, he uses it there onto Haunter because it looked like they wanted to help him out. But that was one where they decided to go to the side. And oh man, that is one of those moments where it is basically a great representation of Huni's split so far. He has been playing pretty much the same as he has before throughout his career. It's just not working out for him by inches.
And you don't always have to make the hero play. You know, you don't have to go for that solo big play. You can wait. TSM is the one that has to go to the rest of your squad. They didn't go for it either way. TSM's 3-man squad plays it well, keeps them alive.
A little bit of that Echo Fox grid kind of infecting Huni once again. Bjergsen continuing to dive forward. Baits out a Q there from Smoothie. And again, despite no Baron, it does feel like TSM are just over-pressuring them out here. Fox will have to answer a very tough situation.
Yeah, just look at the vision. It's lights out for Echo Fox right now. They have that one ward behind red buff. That's it. That's the only ward I think they have in the entire map. That one's even just going to get picked up there.
They do have a blue orb here on Lost that they may need to actually expend. I mean, they don't know. And there it does go down. Jace shows bot, so They may need to try to move in as a squad and look to reestablish at least some vision control around this Baron.
Yeah. Strength in numbers here for Echo Fox. They're going to have to face check some stuff and just trust that there aren't enough members of TSM here. They had seen the Jace bottom, they saw the LeBlanc top, and just clear out this vision and kind of go back and forth with the seesaw.
And Lost just about now has gold for his IE. He needs about 100, 150 more gold to be able to actually complete that, which is going to be a really, really big buy for Echo Fox and their team fighting.
And this is Lost. His debut in the North American LCS. His debut in the North American LCS playoffs against TSM. Game 5, he's the one who has to carry him and Smoothie, the bot lane that got brought on at the same time to kind of help Echo Fox close out the split, shore up one of the things that was considered a weakness for them. And now they really do have to step up right now.
Smoothie is a player that has been in quite a few finals but has never won. His playmaking may push Echo Fox into a decisive situation, but is so tough to play against a bot lane this experienced and this good at winning.
And Smoothie, he has been in those playoffs. He has not won against TSM in particular. This is the team that has always had his number in the moments where it counts.
And TSM has full vision control here. They're setting up a bait, multiple pink wards. No blue trinket available for Echo Fox. They're trying to move in to actually clear this out. It may be a fight.
Smoothie has to go. He finds the 3-man. Not the Galley Wolves as well. Echo Fox, the man, found the fight, but Lost is so low. Just Light's going to pull him back as Hooney does die. The combo is not quite enough, and Devontae dies. Lost now so low, but he does not die.
TSM can go to Baron, though. They know the health bars are so low. Dardoch is up, but how could he really get over there? They're going to go back to base. It looks like this is just them sacrificing the Baron. Dardoch is down on the bottom side farming. TSM has spotted him on the ward. They'll get the Baron.
And that was beautiful from Mithy. His ultimate to counter the ultimate that came out from Smoothie. Smoothie, it looked like he had everybody corralled, grouped up, and as that ultimate hit, you want the follow-up. It was only the Galio. Nobody else could get in past Mithy's solar flare. Let's see that here, because both of the supports make the best play they could.
Yeah, I mean, Dardoch still back a bit far away from the team. A nice ultimate actually goes over, and as you said, that solar flare catching Lost, the Mystic shots that are coming over, the ultimate coming from Sven, putting Lost so low.
And another thing people need to consider is the ultimate from Sejuani. When it explodes, it is a 3-second, 80% slow.
Yeah.
So you cannot get through that choke point after that person had been stunned.
I mean, Lost basically went down to 10% HP. All stuff that was like almost a screen away from him, that was coming from out of fog. It's very hard for him to really do too much about that. And TSM now 5K ahead. Echo Fox still with the ability to win team fights, though.
Smoothie with the cooldowns back up. He might try and make another play. Echo Fox, when they start falling behind, they can look pretty desperate, but they are always a team that fights to the bitter end.
Pooney on the side, looking for a flank.
Mithy, though, just making it work. Goodbye, Dardoch. Goodbye, Tier 2 turret. Fox's chance is starting to slip away.
Yeah, that kill is so big. This could be them breaking the base in multiple lanes. Jace so strong. Hunter pushing in on the bottom side. The mid inhib will be going down. They're going to give up 2.
And that's one dead on the bot side. Gonna maybe make it 2, like you said, Azael. This might even be it. Dardoch is dead for 20 seconds. TSM will claim these 2 inhibs.
It's going to be kind of just by the book here for TSM. Bjergsen is going to catch that top wave. They still have 2 minutes on the Baron. That is more than enough time to reset, get back here, and shove waves.
And you can see the magic damage burst coming through there onto Dardoch. His ult was not up, and he just gets absolutely popped in that Leona plus LeBlanc combo. Really making it work here for TSM. Again, the solo laners having such a strong performance.
And TSM again playing the Echo Fox style, so high tempo, TP back, take another turret. They're looking to take down all 3 inhibs.
Mithy about to have the ultimate back up, the solar flare, the catch potential available once more.
If he goes in as soon as that's off cooldown, TSM may have turned over a new leaf here in playoffs. That is looking so strong. They're waiting for the opportunity. Mithy has had so much criticism leveled at him throughout the split. Might make the plays that give them this game 5.
Yeah, Dardoch is just getting chunked out so low. He's kind of playing with fire there. He has to go back to base. The minions are coming in mid and bot. Echo Fox need to go now or they're going to get triple inhib.
They're about to lose it. They have to go. They have to go. But Bjergsen says no. Devontae looks in for the charm. Looking for it now. But Mithy again gets his old flash box. He's trying to make the play. Grick, though, is going to have the feathers pulled back. Smoothie is almost dead. But Echo Fox is kind of running out of health. Bjergsen able to get that inhib.
That is triple inhib, Infernal Drake alive. TSM are going to have so much pressure in Game 5 and potentially move on to the semifinals, but there is still life in Echo Fox.
It's going to be so hard, though, with 3 inhibs down, 2 super minions per wave, 6 coming at you. The amount of wave clear alone that takes is so incredibly difficult to deal with.
TSM not even stopping a TP Haunter on Jace in this final game to just go straight for the Infernal. Their Baron will wear off, but TSM will grab this, will reset, will storm through Fox's mid lane with 2 Infernal Drakes and give them the hardest challenge of this roster's career.
And Echo Fox, who have had their chances, who looked like they were poised to take the Baron, and botched it, have thrown away a lot of their chances. They need to make something special happen now. You can't sit back and wait. You must engage immediately to hope to stall out this game.
Levante,
He was hoping for the base check, yeah.
Echo Fox is trying all the tricks. Bjergsen again gonna try and scout it out. Does such a good job with these ult misses though.
But that was Bjergsen's Banshee's Veil. This is where Smoothie needs to engage if Bjergsen steps forward. If you could catch him, he doesn't have a QSS. There's no Mikhails. There's nothing that stops Bjergsen from dying. If you can catch him.
Smoothie can't quite find it. Demonte also looking for something with TSM. Gonna try and turn it back around. Vendo's still pretty healthy. Here's Huni, Protoval in. Only finds frontline. Ven still living for so long. And that's 2 kills. Haunter, he might make it another Penta to end out the game. No, it's Bjergsen that takes the next kill. But Demonte is dead. And TSM will right their wrongs from their quarterfinal. They will do what they cannot do before. They will be pushed to the brink, but this time they will triumph.
And the sighs of relief from the fans that all split, even last split, just had no idea how this was going to work out for TSM. In the years past, it was a given. The finals, every time. Last split, etched into their minds, the worry on the tip of their tongue, and here, TSM silence the haters, and they move on to the semifinals, and they will be in Oakland.
What an incredible series. 5 games that required them all. Back and forth, time and time again. But incredible performances coming through in this final game. Haunter, a monster chase performance, was hitting shock blast after shock blast and dominating Huni in this final match.
He had almost 1,000 damage per minute on that Jace.